It's 3 a.m. again. You stare at the ceiling in the silence of your bedroom, wide awake while the rest of the world sleeps. This isn't the first time, and it won't be the last. Maybe you've chalked it up to aging, or blamed that cup of tea you had too late. But what if there's more to this pattern than you think? If you're over 60 and finding yourself awake at exactly the same time each night, you're not alone, and you're not imagining things either. This isn't just a harmless quirk of getting older. Waking up at 3 a.m. could be your body and your mind sending you a signal, a warning, a whisper that something deeper is going on, the kind of whisper you shouldn't ignore. In this video, we're going to explore why this happens, the real, science-backed reasons behind your disrupted sleep, and more importantly, what it means for your health. Because this isn't just about getting enough rest. It's about your heart, your brain, and your quality of life. Before we dive in, let me ask you something. Do you wake up at the same time each night? If so, what do? Get up, toss and turn, pray, or try to go back to sleep? Share your experience in the comments below. You're not alone in this, and your story might just help someone else watching. And while you're here, hit the subscribe button, especially if you're looking for thoughtful, serious conversations about the things that truly matter as we age. We're building a community that listens, learns, and supports each other. Let's dive in. Let me tell you a story. Edna, 74, lives alone in a quiet neighborhood in Oregon. Every night, like clockwork, she wakes up at 3:07 a.m. She's not anxious. She's not in pain. But her eyes pop open, and she lies in the dark wondering why. She tried cutting down caffeine, stopped napping, even changed mattresses. Nothing worked. One morning, after another restless night, she mentioned it to her doctor. What he said surprised her, and it might surprise you too. He told her, this could be your circadian rhythm shifting with age, but it could also be something more serious, a signal from your body that your blood sugar is dipping too low in the early hours. Turns out, Edna had developed early-stage type 2 diabetes, and those nightly wake-ups were her body's early cry for help. Her glucose levels were crashing while she slept, jolting her awake without obvious symptoms. If she hadn't mentioned it, she might never have known until it became something worse. Now, this won't be the case for everyone, but stories like Edna's remind us. Waking up at 3 a.m. isn't always just an old age thing. It can be your body's way of asking for attention. So, let me ask you, have you talked to your doctor about your sleep patterns? If you keep waking up at the same time, don't just shrug it off. Leave a comment below if you've ever discovered a hidden health issue because of your sleep. Your story might make someone else take that first step. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. This is exactly the kind of story we talk about here. Real people, real warnings, real wisdom. Imagine this. It's the middle of the night. You're lying in bed, eyes wide open. Not because of a bad dream, not because of noise, just awake. You try to turn over, close your eyes, count sheep. But sleep doesn't come. And then a thought creeps in. Why is this happening to me? Now, imagine instead that you're 30 again. Same you, same room, same silence. But this time, you sleep through the night like a rock. Deep, uninterrupted rest. You wake up refreshed, mind clear, body calm. So what's changed? Here's the reality. As we get older, our bodies produce less melatonin, the hormone that helps regulate our sleep cycle. Not only that, but our brains become more sensitive to cortisol, the stress hormone that spikes early in the morning. When these two shift together, what you get is a perfect storm for 3 a.m. awakenings. You're not imagining it. You're not weak. Your body is actually wired differently now. And the cruel part? The moment you wake up, your mind kicks in with worries, memories, regrets. Suddenly, what started as a biological glitch becomes an emotional spiral. This is why older adults are twice as likely to experience insomnia than younger people. Not because we have less to do, but because our chemistry is working against us. Now I want to hear from you. When you wake up at night, what runs through your mind? Is it the to-do list? The past? The future? Drop a comment and let others know they're not alone in the silence. And if this is resonating, go ahead and subscribe. We're unraveling truths that too many people ignore, and your voice deserves to be part of the conversation. Did you know that nearly 40% of adults over 65 report waking up at least 3 times a night? That's not just a number, it's nearly half of us. And it raises a troubling question. Why is this happening to so many older adults? And what's the hidden cost? Here's something that might surprise you. Consistent sleep disruption, especially waking up in the early hours, has been linked to a higher risk of cognitive decline, including dementia. Studies from the National Institutes of Health have shown that fragmented sleep may interfere with the brain's ability to clear waste proteins like beta-amyloid, which is strongly associated with Alzheimer's disease. Let that sink in. It's not just about feeling tired the next day. Every night of broken sleep could be adding stress to your brain, accelerating wear and tear you don't see until it's too late. But it doesn't stop there. Chronic early morning waking is also tied to weakened immune response, increased blood pressure, and mood disorders like depression. It's a silent chain reaction, one small break in the night triggering bigger health issues over time. This is why we can't afford to ignore it. That 3 a.m. moment may feel like nothing, but it's telling a much bigger story. Let me ask you something. Have you noticed changes in your memory, mood, or energy that seem to follow poor sleep? If so, talk to us in the comments. What started with you might reflect what many others are silently going through too. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. We're not just talking about problems, we're shining a light on them, together. Let's talk science. Real, hard biology. Because understanding what's happening inside your body at 3 a.m. might be the key to finally finding peace in your sleep. Here's what happens. As we sleep, our body moves through several cycles: light sleep, deep sleep, and REM. In healthy sleep, these stages flow in a steady rhythm. But for older adults, especially over 60, this rhythm starts to falter. One major reason? A decrease in something called slow-wave sleep, the deepest, most restorative stage. As we age, we spend less time in this phase. That means we're more likely to surface from sleep in the middle of the night. Even the slightest noise, a drop in temperature, or a shift in breathing can jolt us awake. And for many, that jolt consistently lands at 3 a.m. But there's more. At this time of night, your core body temperature hits its lowest point. Your cortisol levels, your body's natural stress hormones, begin to rise in preparation for morning. And if your stress levels are already high, that cortisol spike becomes even more intense, leading to sudden wakefulness, often with anxiety or racing thoughts. In other words, waking at 3 a.m. isn't random. It's biology, it's chemistry, and it's something that can be influenced, not controlled, but managed with the right lifestyle, environment, and support. Now here's something to reflect on. Have you ever noticed that your worst nights happen during times of stress? During loss, change, or uncertainty? Let us know in the comments. Your experience might help someone connect the dots in their own life. And don't forget to subscribe. When we understand the science, we reclaim the power to act together. Let's look at 2 very different mornings. In one, you wake up at 7 a.m. after a full night's sleep. You stretch, breathe deep, feel rested. You make a quiet breakfast, maybe take a walk, read the paper. The day feels calm, steady, possible. In the other, you've been awake since 3 a.m. You tried to fall back asleep, but your mind wouldn't let you. Now it's 7 a.m. and you feel heavy, irritable, like you've aged 10 years overnight. The light hurts your eyes. Even simple tasks feel overwhelming. Same person, same home, same body. But the difference between these 2 mornings? A single, broken stretch of sleep. Sleep is more than rest, it's renewal. When it's interrupted, the ripple effects touch everything. How we speak to our loved ones, how we move through the day, how we see ourselves. One version of you moves with ease and grace. The other survives hour by hour, waiting for nightfall to try again. But here's the good news. Recognizing the difference is the first step toward choosing the life you want to live. Let me ask you, how do your mornings feel after a full night of sleep versus a broken one? Which you shows up more often these days? Share in the comments. You might help someone else see their own pattern more clearly. And if you're finding this video helpful, don't leave without subscribing. Sleep is personal, but healing it? That's something we can do together. So now we know. Waking up at 3 a.m. isn't just a harmless habit or a funny quirk of aging. It's a message, a quiet, persistent whisper from your body and mind. Sometimes it's a health flag. Sometimes it's your brain chemistry changing. Sometimes it's emotional weight that rises in the silence. But the bottom line is this: you don't have to accept it as your new normal. There are steps you can take: talking to your doctor, adjusting your evening routine, managing stress, making your bedroom a true place of rest, and most of all, listening. Listening to what your body is telling you instead of brushing it off. You've lived decades. You've seen the world change in ways no one else can fully understand. You deserve rest. Real, deep, healing rest. So tonight, when the clock strikes 3 a.m., don't panic. Don't feel defeated. Remember this video. Remember this community. And remember that you're not alone. Before you go, I want to hear from you. What's the biggest insight you're taking from this conversation? Leave a comment below. Your voice matters here. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. We don't chase trends. We chase truth. We talk about what matters, especially in the quiet hours when most of the world isn't listening. But we are. Take care of yourself and sleep well tonight. You've earned it.